Hi, Dad. Here we are. These are, that over there is the South Dune. And this is what's called the beach. Bathing beach. I am sure this was not here.
Sandy Island State Park. Sandy Island Beach State Park.
Sandy Island Beach State Park. So this is south. On the other side is Sandy Pond. When you were coming here when I was a little boy, this may have had a different inlet. So we're on what's called the South Dunes. There's a very rare house right there. Beautiful. How do people manage to get a house like that in a state park? It was there before?
Yeah, that was there before for the state park.
So if that ever burned down, that's it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's tore down. If you come see that sign over there, you're not supposed to walk beyond that one sign.
Right. It'd kind of be crazy to try to do it anyway. Now that's private?
Yeah.
They have a boat launch?
If you want to call it that, I don't think it's ever been used.
Holy crap.
Not in recent years it hasn't been.
You gotta take some skill to back a boat trailer down there. I wonder if you remember this stuff, Dad.
These houses probably weren't there then.
Sound might be better now. I think I might have had my fingers on one of the microphones. So these are the South Dunes, looking down. That's the power plant way over there, the nuclear power plant. And Salmon River would be down here. Mexico would be down there. So these are the big South Dunes. Of course, those trees might have been tiny, so maybe these are the ones that we all played on as kids, maybe. But there's another set of them coming up. Can't wait to hear what you say about all this. But I'm sure all of that, all the jetty rocks and structure, that wasn't there. There's a low spot right there, Joe. I wonder if that might have been a cut one year. You know?
That may have been it.
Yeah, look at that. That's a hole.
That may have been it.
Yeah.
First couple of South Pond. I think it's up here, actually.
All right.
Yeah, it's actually up here.
So here's some more dunes, still on what's called the south side. Not bad having a private beach. Look at how the soil has just slipped down. Boy, it's so obvious with that dune grass on it, isn't it? How the soil slipped down. What are they building up there? Is that private?
Yeah.
It's funky. It hasn't got really any windows to speak of except that one opening. I imagine these properties are not cheap. So this is a very thin strip of land where Sandy Pond is all along here on the inside. And so this is probably no more than I don't know, about 100 yards wide. Not even 50 yards wide. So we've still got properties. Is there a road along here, or are these people only by boat?
I think you gotta get there by boat.
Okay. Still a couple of properties. You can see them in the woods. There's one right there. But eventually they're going to stop. Then we're going to come up to the inlet. You're not going to believe your eyeballs. Long stretch. Notice how it's flattening down a little bit because we're approaching the inlet. And because it's a state park, you can pull your boat up anywhere. If you want to beach it, you can. Most folks throw the anchor out a few feet offshore. Realize that the beach that, you know, has a walk-through is that far down there. I really would have thought it would have been up here.
Well, no, if you're parking home and walk through,
yeah.
It's up here yet.
Oh, it is up here. Okay.
Up here yet. We haven't gotten to that yet. Well, the beach where we walked out to look at the waves.
Oh, okay. Right.
No, we haven't gotten to that yet. Pretty much right around here somewhere.
Ways there was a deck, just a plain deck. I think that was the deck. Yeah. There was no house with it. It looked a little odd. Okay.
People walking through.
Yep. So on the other side, they built actually just out of like deck material, they built a walkway.
Yeah, there's the clock and stuff I see there. That's it.
Yeah. So a lot of folks will park their boats on the other side, just come across the pond, and there'll be a whole bunch of boats out there on that side. And then they walk through and they just set up here on the beach. And you can walk anywhere along here. You can hike in here, although it's not very wide. And we'll look back. There's the power plant, there's the open lake. Canada would be that way. folks on a jet ski. There's Joe. And we're coming up on the inlet. That cross looks a little weird. Tell you what, you want to, just so it doesn't take too long, you want to zip up to the North Dunes, and I'll just stabilize myself. So what we're doing now is we're flying past the inlet. It's a typical inlet. Sand gets pushed around, but this is where it currently is. Joe says that it hasn't always been here. We're about halfway across the pond on the other side, and Joe's going to take us up to see the North Dunes. And these are what I think we played on, because they're more out in front of Greenpoint. Would have been easier for you guys when we were little to bring us here, and they're bigger. Water's only about 12 feet deep out here. We're about a, oh, I don't know, 1/10 of a mile offshore. So here we come. See him? My gut's telling me that that's what we played on, but it could have been the others. Trees being pretty small. So there you go. And Greenpoint would be pretty much straight in, wouldn't it? Yeah, so this is probably it, Dad. Not a lot of people here. There could be, but there just isn't.
This is privately owned. Nobody really walks over.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. You see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. We'll have to kill the fish with the boat.
Yeah.
They're not catching anything. Alrighty. Take it away, Captain. You gonna do what? Oh, okay. Now, would this be like a walleye trolling area?
Yeah. This right here is where we caught that 10-pounder right here.
Uh-huh.
That was the springtime, you know.
Yes, but it seems like a nice wide flat.
It's right here you get like, it's flat sand and then piles of rocks and then flat sand and then weeds and then flat sand and then piles of rocks.
Do the rocks ever come up enough to threaten the boat?
No. No, nothing like that. But the structure changes drastically from here to Ontario Point. It's constant change-ups.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense because the outline of the lake gets real jagged up here.
Yeah. I got all sorts of, I mean, that could be weeds on the bottom there. We're in shallow, you know, weeds do grow here.
Yeah. I can't see anything.
Yeah, it's a little murkier than normal.
Hell, I could put the camera back in the case and stick it in the water. You know.
You know, normally in this depth of water we can see bottom. Maybe I can't now. I see it now the sand. We're on top of the sand right now.
Oh yeah, I could barely see a shadow of it. So there's the biggest of the North Dunes, right there. And there's a few more up there, but they're all got vegetation on them. And that's a really big one. That's probably, oh, I don't know, 60 feet, maybe more, maybe.
Told you on Fairhaven, they got dunes down at Fairhaven double the size of these.
Those look like about 60 feet, something like that.
Yeah, 50.
And these are two smaller ones.
60 feet.
Right. It's like paradise. So we're going to shoot back to the inlet now.
We're going to shoot back to the inlet. You can look at the bikinis, I mean the boats.
Yeah. That's right, Dad. This is the last of the North Dunes. That one's about, that's 25, 30 feet, maybe 25 feet. Then it gets really flat. And again, Greenpoint is right over the other side. Not that close, I mean it's in a bit, but in that direction. Sometimes you see people set up here and there's no boat. It's because the boat's on the other side, beached on the other side of the spit of land. Very narrow here. But those trees keep it together all through the winter. Most of these folks don't have big houses, you know, it's simple cottages, but this is their, this is the payoff. Okay, I'm going to shut down for a minute because we're going to crawl through the inlet, which takes a while because we have to do it, go through a no-wake zone. So when we hit the first buoy, I'll shut down for a bit. And I'll show you the mayhem on the inside. We're at the first buoy, no wake. So, end of this video.